Hey guys, so today I'm going to work on finishing the leaf battery that I started a couple weeks ago. I got the pack all put together, and now I'm going to work on a really cool idea for some bus bars, and then I'm going to be putting the BMS on here. So my friend David and I, we took apart a Volvo pack the other day, and he had the awesome idea of reusing the flexible bus bars that come out of there. And so I'm going to try to get these to work on the leaf pack. So I think it'll work well, and I'm excited to see how it goes. All right, so here it is. You can see the end of that there. Basically what it is, it's a bunch of copper strips all put together. Let's see if I can get this one out of here. So it's wrapped in some sort of a, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure what this is here. And then let me pull these apart. So it looks like tinned copper. There we go. And the individual pieces they're pretty thin, but all of them together should carry a good amount of amperage. So I'm going to see if I can cut these with a pair of tin snips. So I'm just going to see about how long I need them. I want them to overlap a little bit, but not too much. So we're just going to eyeball them right about there. I think that should do it. Let's see if I can cut this. There it is. Sweet. So that gives it a real nice cut on the edge, just with a pair of tin snips. A little force to it, but and there we go. So we're gonna do them about like that. So let me just cut. I'm gonna need 1, 2, 7 total. So I got one here. Let me cut 6 more. Just gonna use this as my template. For 6, 7, there we go. So I'm just gonna lay these out here. Let's see, so we'll go. Perfect, so this is gonna be my main negative here and my main positive over there. And so let me take this out to the garage. I'm just going to drill some holes in these, and we'll get them put on. Alright, so I don't have a vise for my drill press. I just got this thing the other day, and it's pretty cool, but doesn't have a vise yet. So I'm just using a wood clamp just to make sure this doesn't get caught and spin. And it's important to go very slow with this. Alrighty, so I got all these cut out, and now I need to cut off the insulation that's on here. Alright, so we do have a couple of little burrs under there. I'll just get a file or something to clean that out with. There we go. So that's gonna go about there. Now I could just take this little piece off, but I kind of like the way it looks, so I think I'm going to leave it on. So there we go. I have no idea what this paper junk is on here, but it's kind of messy. I'm just going to do that with the rest of them. I might just tap them with a hammer to flatten them out a little bit. Already done that one there. Okay, so these are all done. What I've done with them is just hit them on a concrete floor with a hammer just to get everything nice and flat again. There were a couple of little burrs that showed up on some of these, mostly because I was drilling too fast a couple times. So anyway, they're nice and flat now. All right, I'm just gonna sand off all the junk on these terminals. Alrighty, so I'm going to start now putting on the BMS. I'm just going to start with the main negative, because that's typically where I like to start when I'm putting one on, just so I don't get confused. And then we're going to go to the first one here. And then I'm going to put the bus bars on as I go. So with the Leaf battery, we have main negative, we have 4 volts between these two, 8 volts between these two, 12 volts between these two, assuming all the cells are at 4 volts. And I am most definitely going to go through, once this is all done, I'm going to go through and just check everything to make sure that I have the voltage that I think I'm going to have. Very important that you don't touch those two, because those are now live. Well, they were live before, but these are connected together, so if I connect those together, I'm going to get a short through these two batteries. Okay, so let me get these all tightened up, and then I'll check my voltages. See if you can see that there. There we go. Okay, so first, main negative to the first one, 3.53. Second, 7. Now, one thing is good to check too, if you can, is right in there, there's the little tabs there. And it's good to make sure that you got everything hooked up right to your BMS, because if you don't, it'll blow up. I'm gonna try to check this. You got to be real careful doing it, because it's very easy to short the little pieces in there. Very easy to short them out. Okay, good to go. All right, so then I'm just going to take a couple of wraps of this Tessa tape. This stuff is great for wrapping around these tiny leads to keep them together. So what I'm trying to accomplish with this here is just to make sure that none of the wires are rubbing on any of the terminals. If any one of these wires were to rub off on one of these here, it will short out and just burn the wire. A lot of amperage here, and we don't want that. So when you put all these wires on here, you want to make sure they're all the same length. That way, if there is any balancing that's occurring, the voltages are accurate. If you start cutting wires shorter than others, you will run into issues with voltage differences based on the length of the wire. So then I have this big mess here when I'm done. So I'm going to, this is the shortest wire right here. I'm going to try to just kind of bundle this up gently. And it's gonna look a little bit messy until we get it all covered up. All right, there we go. So it kind of just holds it all together. And then we'll get to putting the BMS on here. Not sure where we're gonna put that yet. So I think if I put that right about there, then I have my main negative coming off here. I have my main positive off of there. And that should work. Just using this Velcro. I found that hot glue does not work very well for holding the BMSs on. Once it cools off, it just falls right off of the BMS. So there we go. Now, that, give it a good push. There it is. Alright guys, so this is all done here now. So this is going to be my main positive, main negative going to the BMS, and then this is my output. So this is protected here. The BMS I'm using, it's a Dali 16S. It's got 40 amp charge, 20 amp discharge, which is a little bit different than the other ones I've been using. They've all had a 40 amp discharge as well, but this is going in this pack over here along with my other Volvo batteries. So 6 more Volvo batteries, and really, you know, it's only going to be seeing probably 5 amps, 5 to 8 amps maximum. So I'm not really concerned about that. You know, my goal with these Dalis was to keep them less than half of their rated current, and I'm going to be doing that. You know, I've never had an issue with these. They have, you know, shut off one of my packs on occasion, you know, when I had some cells that were going out of whack. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about them. There is no way of programming this though, so it's just there. You don't have to worry about it. It just does its thing, and if it shuts off, then you know there's an issue, and check it out. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you David for the idea about the bus bars. That was an awesome idea. Came out really nicely, and a great way to reuse some materials that came out of an old EV. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more stuff like this, and we'll catch you on the next one.